All right, hello and welcome to the show. These are my ultimate EPL predictions. So by EPL we mean the English Premier League. And let's just get right to it. So we're gonna talk about really who finishes top six, and I'm also gonna talk about some awards. So top six, and I did a lot of analysis. I talked to my boy Lino, who provided a lot of analysis, and I think I have to give him credit for some of this presentation. But let's just go through. I think number one for me, Liverpool. And I say Liverpool because I feel like they just look very sharp this season. I think they're pissed that they didn't win last year. I think they almost won 4 trophies last year, I believe. Preseason games, Salah looked very sharp. He looked ready to go this season. I think they got some. I like Nunez coming in. Alexander-Arnold looked very good. And I know, and I know it's just preseason, but from having played, I know that preseason it equals the season. If you have a very good preseason, often that will translate. Now, some people burn out and have their best play during the preseason, then that happens too. But overall, you can just tell out the gate who's ready to play, and I think Liverpool is just very hungry for the title this season. Spurs. Spurs very much concern me. That's why I have them at number 2, because I am afraid of Spurs. I think this is like their golden season. I think they have a very good coach in Conte, and I think he's got them playing how he wants to play them. And I think Son and Kane are both in their prime. They're both healthy. I really don't see a big reason as to why they would lose games. I think they're in their prime right now. I think they've basically peaked this season. So I think they're gonna have a great season. I really do. Man City, the former champs. I just don't think they got better. Between last year and this year, I think Real Madrid broke them in a way. I think Liverpool kind of whooped them the other day. I think Liverpool just played better attacking football. I think City are too based on Kevin De Bruyne. He reminds me of Messi sometimes playing for Barca. I feel like they're just too reliant on him. I don't think Grealish is very. I think Sterling is just a little bit more consistent and effective than Grealish. I think Grealish just carries the ball too much, and I don't know. I feel like he just doesn't play Pep's style, and neither does Erling Haaland. I feel like they both just don't really fit his ideal style of play. For me, I think Pep likes the passers. He likes passers. And Grealish is more of a playmaker, and, or Haaland is more just a classic number 9. And I just don't think that's a good fit. I don't think their defense is very good, and I don't think Ederson has really performed. I think he's kind of peaked. I just wasn't overly impressed with him. I feel like their defense is just very porous, and for that reason, they get number 3. Number 4, Arsenal. This is my team. I try not to be biased, but I'll admit, I definitely, I'm very objective with them. I'm very honest with them, I would say. But at the same time, I am very hopeful. But I think Arsenal are a top 4 side this season. Again, much like Spurs, I just don't see too many weak spots. I don't see too many areas where they just look weak. They took care of Tavares, and I've made 3 videos on how bad I think Tavares is. I do honestly think he's the worst player I've ever seen in the Premier League. And they replaced him with Zinchenko, who is a good defender. I think he's solid. Played for Pep, played for Man City. He's a solid player. And we also have Tierney. He'll probably be back this season, although he has his injury problems. But I think overall, I think the defense of Arsenal has gotten better because we have a very young team. So I think they all got better. I think the breakout player for this season, and I didn't give that award out. I forgot to put that in there. But breakout player, I think, is going to be Bukayo Saka, the right wing for Arsenal. I again, back to preseason and practice. I'm a big fan of preseason and practice. I really am, because I really think that does tell you who's going to shine. And he, again, just looked very sharp in the preseason and practice videos. He looked very sharp to me. So does Jesus. I think Gabriel Jesus is an upgrade, clear upgrade to Lacazette. And I love Lacazette, but he was just a little bit too agey. He's not active enough. I don't think he's as confident scoring as Jesus. I think Jesus is just overall a better player. I think he's a good fit for Arsenal. He's more of like a put your head down and work, and I think that's the type of guys Arteta really wants right now. Um, and yeah, I have high hopes for Arsenal. I think they're gonna have a good season. I think they have a very solid team. They're all healthy right now, and I think they're gonna have a good season. But EPL is very competitive this year. Number 5, I have Chelsea. I think we all know about the whole situation with Russia and Ukraine, and then Abramovich selling the team. I think that's going to have a big impact on Chelsea. I just don't think they're going to be able to put all that together and then fight with the likes of Arsenal, City, Spurs, Liverpool, who are more of like a well-oiled machine, ready to go at this point. The EPL is very competitive, and that's a sign because Chelsea played in the semifinals of the Champions League last year. So, they're a good team, but I just think Conte didn't play. I feel like he lost a touch to his gameplay. I think that might be due to bad coaching, in my opinion. I think coaches tried to get him to do things that he doesn't do, and I think they phased him out. And I think the bad coaching has also been with Timo Werner. I think they don't coach him very well. I think they shot his confidence. I just don't think they managed that very well. Tuchel to me just seems something about the guy. I don't know. Like I just like if out of all the players in the league, coaches in the league, I feel like I would want to play for him the least. And I don't know the guy personally, but just from what I've seen, I don't know. He just doesn't look like the nicest guy. He looks like Jose Mourinho when he's mad. He just has like that mad vibe. And for that reason, I think, and he's a great coach. He's tactically brilliant, but yeah. And then Chelsea just have too many issues going on right now. Although I still think they're a very good team, and I could see them in the top 4. I could see them really being solid, but at the same time, I think it's very competitive this year, and I just put them right below Arsenal. And then last we have Manchester United, and although they got rid of Pogba, which might catapult them into first place, I still think they have a lot of issues. The whole Ronaldo thing just seems bad. They had Mason Greenwood last season. They just have like a bunch of dysfunctional players. Fred is a strange player. They just have a lot of weird players to me. McTominay, I don't know, dude. You know what I'm saying? Bailly. They just have a whole roster just of questionable players. Maguire, Fernandez. Who on this team is not questionable? Rashford, Martial got loaned. Who is who's a left back? You know what I'm talking. Luke Shaw, has been kind of disappointing and not disappointing at the same time. They just have a weird team, and I don't have a whole lot of confidence in them. I feel like they're in a major slump. I feel like they're in the post Alex Ferguson golden era. They had players like Scholes and Keane and Ronaldo, young Ronaldo, and they were very, very competitive. And I think United just want that so badly, but instead they have players like Rashford and old Ronaldo and and Luke Shaw and Maguire. That's basically United in a nutshell. But like I said, they did get rid of Pogba, and I feel like that will solve a lot of their issues. I feel like his lackadaisical play style just leads to absolute failure. And here are my awards for the season. And we're gonna start with the Golden Boots. I think it goes to Salah, and he just looked very sharp to me. He looks ready to go this season. I think he's gonna score a lot of goals. I think he knows he's going to score a lot of goals. I think he expects to score a lot of goals. He's in his prime. I think he knows that he's kind of in the twilight of his career. I think he's 30, 31. I think Mane left. That probably means he's going to score even more. I think he's easily going to win it. And if not, I think runner-up, it's either going to be Haaland or Kane. And we'll get to Haaland later. Player of the year, Salah. Yeah, I mean, most goals, that's pretty standard. Just usually the best player. Best transfer is Zinchenko. And I say this over Haaland because I know it's one game. But he didn't look that great to me, Haaland, okay? And I know my homie Lino went on like a 10-minute rant on why he doesn't believe in Haaland. And he had some very good points. I also had some very good points and in my own doubts. I personally think he just doesn't really fit that style of play. And again, I was getting Timo Werner vibes, and that's never a good thing. That's never a good thing. When the same things happen. People said the same thing about Werner. Oh, he's getting a lot of chances. He's just not scoring. That concerns me as a striker. I feel like a striker's job is to score. You know what I'm saying? That's like a defender. That's like saying a defender, oh, he had a lot of chances, he just didn't clear the ball. It's like, well, that's a bad defender to me. You know, but you know, that's just my take on that. And Zinchenko, yeah, I think he covers Arsenal's left back issue, which is Nuno Tavares. And Nuno Tavares, I think, single-handedly lost us like 5 games last season. And by us, I mean Arsenal. He lost us like 5, maybe 6 games last season. He's just such a bad defender. It just blows my mind every time I see him. So I think Zinchenko is a godsend. You know, he's gonna. That's exactly what we need. And what I like about Arteta is he's a good team builder. He knows when to get rid of players and when to put players in. He's done that really well, and I commend him for that. Next is Pepe. But anyways, worst transfer, Erling Haaland. Paul will love this one. My homie Lino, he'll love this one. But like I had to side with him on that one. He had a compelling argument. I just think like I said, I don't think Timo Werner vibes is a good vibe. And like I said, oh, he had chances, he just didn't score. That's what a striker's supposed to do, is score the ball. You know, score goals. And I think he will get so many chances, he'll probably score a lot. And he might have a great season. I could be completely wrong. I've never been so 50-50 at the same time. I could honestly see him scoring a lot of goals just because he plays for Man City. Like, I think if he played on another team, I don't even know. But just because he plays for Man City, I could see him scoring a lot. But at the same time, and the fact that, like, they basically got rid of Jesus. But at the same time, I'm just not totally convinced he fits the play style. I'm not convinced he's the passing type that Pep likes. I'm just not fully convinced with Erling Haaland. I'm not convinced. And I feel like the more games he doesn't score, the more pressure and the worse it's going to get. And I think that's going to drag all of Man City down. And we'll see, you know. I don't think they paid that much for him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pep dropped him. Pep might be like, look, man, we only paid 30-some million for the guy. You know, he might be the chosen one, but, you know, he ain't scoring goals. So, like, you know, and this is the same guy that coached Messi, Lewandowski. Like, I think he knows when a great player is in the building. So, you know, I don't know how he's going to handle that. But relegated, Everton, I think Lampard is probably the worst coach in the EPL. He just doesn't look like a coach to me. It's just something about his face. I can't quite describe it. It's like his face and his vibe. He just doesn't look like a coach to me. And I was a fan of Lampard as a player. And he kind of still had that face, even when he was playing, but I don't know, man. He just has a strange looking face to me. You know, I probably have a strange looking face to a lot of people too, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, dude. He just doesn't look like a coach to me. And I don't think he really coaches like a coach. He's already been sacked from Chelsea, you know, a club that he, like, is a legend of. So, I mean, he got sacked from there. They probably didn't even want to sack him. But, you know, that's a normal coach performing that poorly would have been sacked probably a month earlier. You know what I'm saying? But they gave him like an extra month off of club legend status. You know what I'm saying? And he still got sacked. So for me, I don't think he's a great coach. I don't think Everton are a great squad. I think they got rid of Richarlison, and I think he bagged a lot of goals for them. And I forgot, yeah, I remember he went to Spurs, which is also why I have Spurs up there too. But yeah, I just don't see them having a great season. I don't know where the goals are coming from. If they don't get relegated, I would be surprised. I really would. It's going to take a big... Oh, decline. Whoops. Well, I spelled something wrong here. And that's shameful because that should be on the most disappointing list. The fact that I didn't spell decline right. But biggest decline, Pepe. I just think Pepe, like most big transfers, I think teams are starting to learn. You notice how like teams haven't bought players for ridiculous amounts of money like this offseason? Like it hasn't been like it was in the past. Teams used to just splash, be like all in. Now teams are kind of like, like they just try to get good deals. And like Pepe is a classic example of why, because he cost $70 million. Keep in mind, Haaland cost like 30-something million. And like I think $70 million would have been the highest transfer in the Premier League this season. So just keep that in mind. And Pepe has been probably the most disappointing Arsenal player ever. Um, and he's not that bad, but like he's not like Premier League Arsenal quality. He's like Wigan Athletic or like West Ham. Like if he played for West Ham, we wouldn't he'd be like a West Ham player. We wouldn't be like, oh man, he should be playing for a bigger team. Like he's like I said, he'll play well against like in cup matches against like Division 2 squads but like he's just not really like he has like a lack of a he has like a lack of he's just too lackadaisical. That's the thing. He reminds me of Pogba a little bit. Like he's just too like laid back in his play style. Like he doesn't have enough energy for me. If he was a very energetic player, I think he'd be fine. And, you know, I'm being very critical because at the end of the day, dude, Pepe is probably an extraordinary talent. But I'm just saying on the scale of the Premier League, I just don't think he's like I don't think him at right wing this season for Arsenal over Saka would be a complete disaster. And that's the one thing that scares the heck out of me. I'm like, okay, do we have anyone to cover that right wing in case Saka goes out? Because we had the same problem last year when Tierney went out. Do we have that? You know, and I'm praying for Saka to be healthy this whole season. But odds are he won't play every game. Pepe in there is scary. And I just don't think he's anytime I see Pepe in the lineup, I'm like, oh gosh, man. Like, oh gosh. Like it almost single-handedly changes my prediction, just like Tavares. Anytime I see Tavares in the lineup, I'm like, oh, it went from like maybe 1-0 or 2-0 Arsenal to like 1-1. 2-2. Every time I see Pepe in the lineup, I'm like, oh my gosh, it went from like 1-0, 2-0 Arsenal to probably like 1-0 or like 0-0 or 0-2. Like I can't with that guy. I mean, like I wish we could just get like a refund. I really do. If we could just return him and just try another player, let Arteta buy this player this time, because I think Emery bought Pepe and that was the problem. And Emery is. His time at Arsenal was shameful as well. That's a whole different discussion. But yeah, I just don't think Pepe is. I don't think Pepe is fit for the Premier League. He's like a French league quality player, or I could see him at like a Roma, or like I just don't. He's just not like a top 4 Arsenal like squad member for me. He just doesn't quite do that for me. But I think that's it for this presentation. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I know I mean, honestly, yeah, again, shout out to Paulinho. He gave me a lot of insight, and we had some good discussions about this. So I got to give him a shout out for the quality of the video and the quality of the information. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think about, you know, if there's anything that you think is off. But yeah, like thank you guys for watching. Y'all take care and peace out.